ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joseph Novichkov, Senior Trading Manager with GDM. Today's outlook, we're going to start with the Asian markets. They were mostly lower as a slew of concerns over the upcoming US presidential elections, weaker Japanese data, and of course, lower oil prices weighed on the sentiment. For now, we're looking at the China's mainland markets. They were slightly mixed on Monday. Shanghai composite index was down about 3 points, or about 0.1% at 3102, with the Shenzhen almost unchanged, up about 0.03 points. Japan's Nikkei 225 index closed down about 0.1%, or about 21.5 points at 17,425. As investors are awaited the announcement from the Bank of Japan, which started a two-day policy meeting on Monday. Japanese yen, of course, as the dollar inched down 0.1%, was at 104.97, or up 0.25%, away from the 105.50 high, which was on track of 3.4% gains on the month. European markets started the week lower as revelations over the weekend increased uncertainty over the upcoming US presidential elections. Tracking the Stock 600 index, it was down about 1.2 points, or 0.35%, with all major bourses and most sectors in negative territory. Volatility has returned with renewal uncertainty over the result of the US election, with, of course, the FBI announced last Friday that it was looking into additional emails as part of the ongoing investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. The aforementioned revelations could damage the chances of the Democrat candidate, with, of course, over a week just before the election day. Also, let's take a look at the rest of the indices in Europe. FTSE 100 down 23.6 points, or 0.35% down. That's 37.5 points down, or about 0.35% in the negative territory. Tracking the exchange rate versus the euro and the US dollar, slipped about 0.2% to 1.0955, as we can see, or 0.02 points down. This is, of course, the largest one-day rise in nearly 2 months, as we previously stated. It remained far above the 7.5-month low of 1.0510 inched on Tuesday. Of course, still poised to shed 2.4% for the month. In Europe, the Eurozone flash GDP estimate and inflation data are due later in the day. Also, rest in Europe, GBP slightly higher versus the dollar at 1.2185, or 0.02%. Gold prices held steady on Monday despite a firmer dollar, with markets anxiously awaited the upcoming Federal Reserve meeting for more insights of the timing of a potential US interest rate hike. Several of the world's top central bank meetings are due in the week, including the Federal Open Market Committee meeting, which of course will be closely monitored for directions of a much anticipated interest rate hike. Gold prices were slightly lower today, $1.8 or 0.15% to $12.75, which makes it little changed on the day. Oil prices extending declines on Monday after non-OPEC producers made no specific comments to join OPEC in limiting oil output levels to prop up prices, suggesting, of course, they waited the oil producing group to solve its own differences first. Also, looking at crude oil prices, they were down 10 cents, or 0.25% in negative territory at 48.60 on the day, after closing down about $1 on Friday last week. That's all from the most important of today. I'll see you next time again. Bye-bye.